The No Fate channel checking in, and we are doing some van damage today on this episode of Sunday Supplement Review as I review Apollon Nutrition's Kumite, a combat pre-workout. On this series, I review a supplement every Sunday to help you decide if it is right for your fitness goals, your health needs, and most importantly, that hard-earned money. Today from apollonnutrition.com, I have their combat pre-workout aptly named Kumite. Kumite, loosely translated, means grappling hands, but you probably know Kumite from the famous movie from my youth, that Van Damme gem, Bloodsport. This is specifically designed for combat athletes. And before I dive into the ingredients, I just want to talk about what's not in here, okay? Again, this is a specific niche product, and there's no pump ingredients in here. So before you keyboard warriors start typing in that you don't like this pre-workout because it has no pump ingredients, keep in mind, if you are a combat athlete, if you are an athlete of any type, most likely you don't want pump ingredients because you are just cranking out those sets, whether it's an AMRAP, whether it's a CrossFit WOD, whether it's circuit training, boxing, MMA, judo, anything like that. You don't want to pump because you're bringing your own pumps to the gym. You're going so hard. The last thing you want is all of that blood stored up and built up and pumped up in your arms. It makes it much tougher to throw a punch. It makes it much tougher to throw a kick or finish that pull-up. Again, like I said, if you're doing AMRAPs, if you're doing CrossFit. So there's no pump ingredients in here whatsoever, so don't even bother asking about them. And frankly, you don't need them. If you're bringing your own pumps to the gym, if you're working out hard enough, you're going to get a pump regardless if there's any pump ingredients in here. Right off the bat, we have 2 grams of Peak O2, and that is a trademarked product that incorporates a number of mushrooms. As you know, as you might be aware, mushrooms have a number of great benefits, everything from nootropics to being rich in vitamins, etc. But I'm going to just read them off. We've got cordyceps, we've got reishi, we've got king trumpet, we've got shiitake, we've got lion's mane, and turkey tail. Now, mark my words, this is 2019 as I'm shooting this. In 2020, you are going to see almost all or a ton of new pre-workouts coming out with the ingredient lion's mane. That is one of my favorites. That is a sleeper ingredient as a nootropic, and it definitely delivers that focus. I'm basically in love with that ingredient. Also on the list, we have Caffeine Anhydrous at 200 milligrams. We've got ElevATP, another trademarked product that contains peat, ancient peat and apple extract, that's 150 milligrams. We've got Teacrine, 150 milligrams. We have Theobromine at 100 milligrams. And then we've got that longer lasting caffeine, Di-Caffeine Malate at 68 milligrams. Now, many of you listening to that ingredients list, you're saying, well, where's the high caffeine dosage? Where are all the stims? Again, this is not the bazooka, okay? Many of you, when you're looking at pre-workouts, you want that bazooka, you want that cure-all, you want it to do everything and then some. You want it to send you to the moon and back. And the reality is, when you're trying and when you're focused and you're dedicated to your goals, you don't want a bazooka. You want that sniper rifle that is laser locked on its target for the one thing that you're training for. And that's what Kumite does, okay? These ingredients are specifically designed for the combat athlete, for the athlete in general that's doing multiple workouts a day. So you don't want to hit 500 or 600 milligrams of caffeine on your pre-workout, okay? This 250 caffeine dosage between the Caffeine Anhydrous and the Di-Caffeine Malate is a perfect sweet spot because many of the combat athletes are doing multiple workouts a day. And this is enough caffeine to get you up, get you through your workout. But again, when you're doing those hard workouts, when you're doing those AMRAPs, when you're doing that circuit training, when you're doing those sparring, you don't want your heart rate to be too high because you're putting in so much effort yourself. You're gonna be gassed out. Okay, you want, again, that sweet spot, that laser focus, and that's what Kumite does. And this is designed so you could take this multiple times a day. Again, if you have a training in the morning, training in the afternoon, you could easily double dose this and not be well over the amount of caffeine you should be having for the day. So let's talk about my experience with it. I have been able to train with it for 5 times. So I've trained with it on cardio days. I've trained with it when I was hitting the heavy bag and doing shadow boxing. I trained with it when I was just doing a bro push-pull legs workout. And I trained with it one day, just incorporating a number of supersets and some extra circuits. And I will tell you, it hits the mark. And again, it's very laser focused. It's a very niche product in what it's delivering, and it delivers exactly what it is intended to do. During the cardio session, I was able to, work out very hard, go hard during the cardio, but again, unlike maybe a high stimmed pre-workout, I didn't have that high heart rate. It was right where I wanted it to be, and when I pushed hard, I was able to, and I didn't feel like I had to back off because my heart rate was just too high. Also, during the supersets and during my circuits, I was able to complete them. I didn't have that crazy pump. Again, my arms were certainly bulging, my veins were bulging, but I didn't have that pump where I can't contract my hands and finish that set, finish those workouts. Same thing goes for when I was hitting that heavy bag. I really liked Kumite. Again, as I mentioned, it does take 45 minutes to kick in, so just be aware of that when you do take it. It's not like, you know, the pre-workouts that you might take a scoop of and just get in the gym and in 15 minutes you're good to go. So that's the only thing you really need to be aware of, but I have really enjoyed it.
The 1-2 roll right. 1-2 roll right. Give me a 1-2 roll right, roll left.
Round 1. 4. Right straight left hook. Right straight left hook, right straight. 3. 2. Jab. 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 1-2.
For reference, I didn't mention it earlier, that's the size of one pill, and you need to take 4 per serving. Another benefit with the pills with regards to 4 per serving, if you know you're going to be working out twice and you don't want that much caffeine, you can take 3 pills. You can take 2 pills and then take another 2 pills later. It lets you kind of fix your own serving size to best meet your needs. What does it cost? Okay, if you go over to apollonnutrition.com, and you use my code NOFADE247, I'm trying to get them to set that up, you can get 15% off, okay? If that code doesn't work, there's a bunch of other codes out there that you can get 15% off, and that brings it down to $1.42 per serving. Is that a fair price for what they're delivering? And the answer is yes. If you just look at that Pico 2, those mushrooms that they put in here, okay, it doesn't sound like that's expensive, but if you do your research, that if it's a very expensive product, and there's a reason that a lot of other pre-workouts don't put in many of those ingredients because of the cost. So $1.42 per serving, give or take a penny. Very affordable for what you get, and that is the everyday price. 2 things I want to mention regarding the price. Now, if they run a super sale, or if you can find a better coupon that gets you better than 15% off, obviously take advantage of that to bring that price down. They also have stacks. I think you can get this Kumite with a few other of their products to obviously spend more, but then that brings this price down per pill, per serving. Let me know in the comments below if Kumite Combat Pre-Workout is something that fits your training style. Are you doing CrossFit WODs, AMRAPs? Are you doing circuit training, supersets? Are you training for an obstacle course race where you're doing just tons of long circuits, lots of cardio? Are you doing MMA? Are you a badass? Are you doing boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, everything else in between? Hey, drop it in the comments below. Hey, if you came this far in the video, you already know what to do. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. I am dedicated to helping you dads be great parents to your children and still accomplish your own personal goals. I post tips and tricks to save you dads time, energy, and money. 3 things that are in short supply for every dad out there.